Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Milan.
Miss Walsh.
How we doing, brother?
Can't wait to pod. Great. How are you doing?
Kaylon Kelly said, we always ask, how are your FPL teams? But we never ask, how are you doing? It's like...
I'm doing badly.
Because of your FPL team.
Because of my FPL team.
Yeah, that's the answer everyone's looking for. I mean, I'm good, you know. I've fucking... No more clean sheets are gone, and, you know, games are just crazy. There's like 5 goals in every fucking game. I don't know what to even do about it. But
yeah, well, I knew what to do about it. It's not helping. But
do you want to start with the good or the bad?
There's no good. What is good?
I did good.
You did. Oh, with my you start then.
There's some
you
good.
Start.
All right, let me get the fucking shit up here.
I mean, you have the second best 8 million midfield asset in the game.
Second best to Foden. Yeah, so 92 points. Lot of points. I took -4, so it's really 88. But I went up around 100k, 340k. Just such a high scoring week. You know, the elite average was 87.88, so I was like basically exactly there. I got the huge -1 from Nico today, and then I got the 18 from Matto today, so balanced out. My hit was Reed and Isak out for Matto and Dom, so you know, obviously huge positive with the Matto 18-pointer.
Just use and abuse, throw away Reed after he gets his first career goal.
Literally use and abuse. I mean, there's no other better way I can put that.
What a horrific relationship.
He scores his first ever career goal right when I need him most, and then he can go another 100 games or whatever the fuck without scoring, and I could care less. I mean, Trips keeps being a god, and obviously I capped Holland, as you can see on the screen, with a 46 under his name, so you know that's good. The Mitro injury is not great. Nico is just an utter disaster, like one of the worst picks in the game. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to stop starting him.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Forest are so beyond bad that he's basically, like you said, unstartable. And then I look at my team for game week 10 and I'm like, oh, home Villa. I'm like, you talk me into, one of the best clean sheet fixtures in the league right there. Might be in my team again, and he'll probably not start for Aurier, and then, it won't matter in the end anyway. But yeah, good team. Kev keeps doing it. Brought in Matto. Mo got an assist. Martinelli got an assist. I'm just taking over.
Good job.
That's all I got to say. Good job by me.
Yeah, you're in good shape.
Yeah, in good shape here. And let me get.
It's always good when the hit pays off immediately.
It's like not the right way to evaluate it, but it just feels
kind
so
of
good.
Is. Yeah, I'm happy that I counseled you into aggression on Matto.
Get the guys that you really want to get.
Yeah.
So you're on 75.
Yep.
Not ideal. Not horrible, because Foden fucking was huge for you.
It's pretty horrible. I mean,
it's
I
like
can't get out of my own
basically
way.
It's top 10K average is what you got.
I don't give a whatever.
I'm just
can't
talking
get out of
about
my
how
own fucking
good
way.
or bad it was. Yeah,
it's bad. I did bad, dumb things. I cannot get the fuck out of my own way. It's just so annoying. There were just so many things. And the thing that was the worst about Holland getting all the points was I didn't enjoy Foden scoring a hat trick literally at all.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it at all. I enjoyed it 0%. Didn't give a fuck. Did not care at all. So he took that away from me. I took that away from myself. Should we correct it? I think the biggest, two bigger pain points, though, I think. Number one, Pope. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. I
You
still
keep
have
the
no
streak
goalkeeper
alive.
clean.
No goalkeeper
Ward-
cleans through 9 game weeks.
Ward gets 8 points today. He was so bad, playing absolute dog shit the whole game.
Beyond bad. Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here. It's like insane how I just swap in and out of no points. We've been playing with 10 men this whole season. I have 11 points out of my. I literally have Ward for like 5 straight games of getting 1 point. Then I get
Ramsdale for
I literally
2
get him in
blanks or
between.
something.
I get him in between clean sheets for just blanks in a row because I wild carded.
You're just bullet dodging the clean sheets.
And now I have Pope, who's just 10 men against Fulham. They don't give a fuck. He subs all his defenders off, and it's just like it's so infuriating.
Trips, Botman, and Shaw, right?
Yeah, the whole set. And
he also could have just caught the ball. I don't know if you saw the actual goal, but he could have just used his arms and caught it.
Yeah, you simply catch the ball if you were, yeah. And then I'm so upset with myself about Soufal, dude, because
you didn't
I said
like
that
him.
to you. I didn't like him at all. And the whole time I was just like, I felt backed into the corner of like he's an, in air quotes, good pick because he's on West Ham and they have no other right backs on the team. Little did I know they have center backs on the team. Therefore, put on the right back shirt.
Moyes can just play 4 center backs. Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck he wants. And, Zuma sitting here with him. Well, everyone got the clean except for the one that doesn't play. I mean, I don't think it's not a coincidence that they got the clean and Soufal didn't play. I mean, he's so horrendous. Bad. But I mean, I just, this is the kind of thing, like, how have I not learned from this? Like, I don't like the player, didn't like the pick.
Yeah.
Should not have had him, should not have picked him.
And the thing really also is like the rest of 14 out of your 15 players, you didn't do that.
Right.
You didn't sacrifice any other spot. These are all the guys you wanted. Isak was in before Dom. Yeah. But these were all the guys you wanted at every position, basically. And then,
it's these things. And then back to, not capping Haaland. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's, this happened to us in recent memory where we didn't cap the guy against Manchester fucking United, shithouse team. Clown show team, and Mo scores 1 million points, and me and you both cap Kai Havertz, who just blanks.
Yeah, and then we both capped Mo in the reverse time, and he did all the things in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously got punished to a degree that is like actually unbelievable. I mean,
I'm sitting up on 95 or whatever the fuck if I just did that.
Yeah,
that's it. It's just.
Yeah, and flying. You probably would have went up. Like, I went up 100K, but I was a much higher starting rank from you. You would have gone up so much. Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing that I keep doing with FPL is like my team is so good. Like I have all these cheap defenders. I have great picks all around the show. Yep. And it's each week I find a new thing to just like, how can I fucking ruin my team this week? Don't cap Haaland. How do I ruin my team?
Twitter
it's
were
just
like
insane. I'm fucking
praising
so
you for having the triple city attack. Like, that is not like a meta thing. You
triple
are
city attack and
ahead of
Trips
the curve.
Is my most expensive defender.
Everyone's like, Walsh must be flying, blah, blah, blah. And I have to
fucking plummeting.
Type, but he capped him up.
Yeah. Like, it's insane. It's fucking insane. I'm so dumb. I just feel like such a dumb, stupid idiot.
This season is still very, very salvageable, though. And like you said, your team is fucking stacked.
I'm tired of salvaging.
Well, that's all you have left to do. So, unless you're retiring from FMLFPL LLC.
Is that a dare? I can go down more, baby.
I mean, you could tank for the first round draft pick next season, but I don't think it's worth it.
Pope to Henderson? Is that my future transfer?
Oh, God. Pope to Ward. Take money out of defense, right? That's the meta. Yeah, pretty terrible. Sorry, bro.
And like it's even just the Soufal is like not only they clean Wolves, but then it gets -2 Dallo from my last place on my bench up. Like Patterson getting hurt. It's like all this shit. Like how the fuck does this happen?
8-point swing if Soufal got the West Ham clean versus getting a Dallo -2.
Multi injuries. Address this one. Don't address this one. I'm fine with it. It's like what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in hindsight, I wonder if you should have actually considered a hit. because I mean,
I
yeah,
didn't consider Sufal not playing. I didn't even think about that for 1 second.
I mean,
Did
it
not
was
think about it
always
for a
like
second.
an option, but yeah,
Was it?
I see what you're saying.
He played a center back.
Yeah, and he's started every game all season.
Yeah,
You're
he played
right.
a center
You're
back
right.
there. It's like,
Yeah. And he doesn't even sub on 5 subs.
Yeah.
That's another thing we've talked about all season is like, even if your guy doesn't start, he'll always sub on, play 10 minutes, whatever. Like,
and especially, I mean, the game, they were just killing the game. I was looking at it from, it's 55-6. They score the second. I was like, oh, he'll put him on. They'll go 3, wing, whatever. 5 bus, fuck me, whatever. And I wanted that, obviously, because I didn't want Dallo coming on. He was fucking playing City and whatever. I don't know. It's these little things. It doesn't matter. I just didn't cap the right guy. Like a fucking absolute monsoon. I'm a disaster.
I'm sorry, disaster. I hate to see you like this, but the seesaw will always see and saw. We can't both do well ever, just against the rules. So next time it'll be, you picking me up off the floor. I don't know.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time before to like drink a ton. So
yeah,
I'm sober.
There we go.
That's the bigger problem.
Well, get cracking. There it is. That was good. That was like an advertisement for a fucking beer company right there. Let me do league updates. Shout out to the 3 Prize League Mug League leaders for October so far. Friend of the pod, Martin Baker from the Above Average FPL podcast, aka Baker's Beauties, put up 119 points this week. Good things happen when you have Matto, Foden, Bowen, and Captain Holland. That's just so many fucking goddamn points. In second place is Sebastian Spinetto, aka Baby Doherty No More. And third place is Georgi Stoimanov, aka NPX2. No, I don't want to know what that means. And the shout out to the leader of the public league. It's the same fucking guy, dude, all season. Greg Haddon, Kwanga FC. He's a beast. He's been playing. I looked at his team. He's been playing since the 07-08 season. It's a long time, dude.
A long fucking time.
Long 15
fucking
time.
years. We probably have listeners who are younger than that.
Yeah, and he's finally flying. So good job by you.
So is that our career path? We just need another 10 years of gaming.
Yeah, I think in 10 years from now, I'll really get it. No, our career path is just completely different shape. It's good before potting. And then, like, the more we obsess and think about the game, the worse we get. Direct, 1-to-1.
Yeah, that's correct.
Hate to see that. Where do you want to begin, brother?
The end.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? fucking full stupid ass shit.
Well, I guess we just stick with City because we're kind of talking about Holland and whatnot. So we got some City questions, and Jitterbug said, deep dive on the best 2 to own from Kev, Cancelo, and Foden. Camia said, is tripling up on City attack overreactionary, or is Cancelo just as good as Foden/Bilv? And Halvard said, is it time to go away from 3 forwards? Tony, Mitro, Solanke are all doing less than what we expected from them. Maybe it's time where we dump Cancelo, squeeze Foden into a 5-man midfield. I mean, so basically everyone's asking the same question. I mean, is it like, has the debate been settled for you for a while, and Cancelo versus Foden or Cancelo versus Bilv?
I mean, I'd made that decision weeks ago, right? And that's why I have that. Yeah, that's why I have that in my team. That's why I had the triple attack. Yeah, it's more of the same. Like the Manchester United game, I think kind of exposed it. Is just that, teams are still going at them and they're letting up chances on the counters, more than they used to when they were just kind of controlling games in midfield more. And they just kind of played differently this year, sort of. And Cancelo's, he's dropping in a little bit in midfield. He's just not being relied upon as much. I mean, the jacketing was in full flow this weekend. When they have those kind of things happening, they just don't need to rely on Cancelo as much, especially, I mean, and I don't think it's completely unrelated to having a recognized number 9, right? Where they before needed to get goals and creativity from absolutely everywhere, as much as they could, and now it's just, he's not really being relied upon very much in the final third whatsoever. He still overlaps periodically and shit like that, but he's, what he has 43 points, game week 9 -1. So what is that? 8 to 43. I mean, that's still good. It's still like 5 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when he cleans, he's still a shout for Max Bones. He has 2 double-digit hauls. They've conceded the same number of goals as Liverpool. Like, just let that sink in. Like, Liverpool are a fucking nightmare disaster.
Yeah.
And City have conceded the same number of goals. Same number of goals as West Ham, as Wolves. It's like, we're just not seeing the same City. And I liked what you said that about having a number 9, because I think also in a weird way that probably works against them defensively, right? Because last season, whenever you looked at their like heat maps, pass maps, all that shit, there was just a gigantic gaping fucking hole in the middle of the opposite team's box, where it's like, wow, they probably should have a striker because they just don't have one, and they just play like 8 midfielders. And that probably helps defensively to have like a bunch of mids like pressing and working and build up and counter pressing and all that stuff. And now they do have, obviously Haaland is worth it. He's scoring every fucking hat trick every game, but having a guy that doesn't really track back and doesn't contribute in build up and doesn't contribute defensively or pressing, it's like, makes them like a little easier to get out of probably. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and the defenders have to defend more. They have to be, playing deeper. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I walked around in game week fucking 4, and I was like, Trent's out, Cancelo's out, like fuck this. Yeah.
Right, and that's been paying dividends. And I think Bill is a much closer call though, just because he just doesn't shoot enough, and he plays in midfield sometimes, and Foden doesn't. So I mean, when you're comparing Bill to Cancelo, I think it's a lot closer. But I mean, obviously it's Foden is a triple returner, TM, right? And he's just he attacks a lot, and we've been historically loving and have loved Foden since he was, for a few years now.
Prepubescent.
Yeah. And, he is capable of scoring 20 goals, 20 league goals. And, why not now? Why not this year?
He just usually misses all the chances that he scored.
Yeah. That's pretty much the story of his life. He would have had this similar like process game and had a goal.
Yeah,
typically.
Exactly. And it wouldn't have been one of the ones that he like struck well. It's like the weird one. That's the one that usually goes in.
Scuffed and bounced and deflected over the keeper's fucking glove or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still, he's still getting into the positions that we've liked. He's still playing the position we like. We've been saying, he's starting all the games. He's clearly in the same breadth of Haaland, De Bruyne from Pep on a team sheet standpoint.
Yep.
They don't have.
I know. I wish I got him.
So, he's just a great pick, and it does seem pretty clear that, it's Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden are the top 3 City options to me. I think the De Bruyne versus Foden question is a lot different because there's 4 fucking million in it, right? So that's team dependent.
I feel like we kind of nailed like the Kev talk in preseason when we were both like, a lot of it was like Kev versus Haaland, blah, blah, blah. And we talked about like, well, he's not going to score 15 goals again. Like that was just like not a thing that's going to happen. He was like 9 over his XG or something. But we were like, yeah, but he could just get 20 plus assists again and still just be like a fucking FPL god. And it's game week 9 and he has a goal and 8 assists already. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, he has 9 returns in 8 games. Like he's an absolutely otherworldly asset. It's just funny because he's being so dwarfed by Haaland. Oh, yeah. And people are still talking about like Kane. It's just like
people capped Kev this week.
Good for them.
Like what?
Kev.
Like I feel like that's way more indefensible than capping Mo. It's like you're recognizing that City are probably gonna fucking destroy this bad, United team that like, just concede everything. Concede all the possession, all the territory.
So I don't mind.
But you're choosing Kev over Haaland. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mind so much of that. I would never ever captain Kev over Haaland. Like
I
best case is Haaland as Kev assisting Haaland. Like
best case is Kev scoring a hat trick and Haaland's not involved. I mean,
but that's just not. I just don't think that's possible.
I know, but you're still betting on the game that you think is going to have the most goals and just getting lucky, purely and simply just getting lucky.
Yeah. So
if you're going diff cap in that regard,
for that reason, I would never do it because it's like it's just a complete punt. Unless, there's a very, very strong inkling that Holland's like not going to play or he's knocked or something.
Right.
Then, yeah, I'm in.
No,
but
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just, it's just a punt and I really don't like it. But
all right. That's
on the other side of the ball,
I can't keep talking about City.
You're fine. On the other side of the ball, we got a couple Tony Gloves questions. Kev said, I love the wording from Kev here. He said, as we head into autumnal weather, is gloves now essential? And then Sutton said, is it time to jump on Tony Gloves for 3 weeks before he gets hurt again? So, obviously the Mitro injury, I think, is like coloring a lot of people's interest in maybe Tony Gloves, but Martial, yeah, absolutely. But Martial subs on, he takes a pen, gets another goal in open play. I mean, their fixtures are like bad. I don't know. They're not like bad. They just are bad.
They're bad. They're
very bad. They don't have a good attacking fixture until game week 16, the week before the World Cup.
I think home Western's okay.
I don't think so.
I think West Ham a little bit all over the show, and they're about to enter the Thursday shit. Like they could just be a mess by the time. Either way, the next few are bad.
It's at best okay, right? Like, so it's never going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest issue to me is he just played 30 minutes, right? So
didn't start. Yeah.
Didn't start. So can he start Everton? Sure. But that's a 60-minute at best. Is it likely? I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll get news as the week kind of comes and goes.
For me personally, it makes a lot more sense against a bus. But like in every fantasy game in history, assuming, rational decisions or what you think are rational decisions is a really bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, he has a lot of, question marks around him. Again, the fitness being a really big one because, a player that has played barely at all for like years and then played a half and then was out and then played 30 minutes doesn't scream like, oh yeah, he's going to start next game.
Yeah.
That aside, even if he started and played 60 and worked his way up and, you're not reaping too many rewards, I think, from jumping in now with these fixtures. I think, right, the interest is very much surrounding Mitro's injury and, looking around at replacements, there just aren't a ton. That's really, to me, the biggest thing. But I don't really think like Martial right now is a great option. I think he could be a great option in a few games, but it's sort of back to the same thing we talk about a lot on the pod is, do you really need to be the first, actual number one first transfer inner of a player? Like, no, you don't.
Absolutely.
And he does have a lot. Listen, if his next fixtures were what Leicester's look like, we're having a different conversation.
100% with you. Yeah.
But as they are, it seems like one that you could either wait for that. Maybe he starts playing well for the next couple. You buy him for that window into the World Cup, or they do have a few good fixtures after the World Cup. Maybe that's someone you target then. But I think it's a little premature right now. What do you think about Rash?
No, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
I just wanted to jump to just Harley Boys and Tuna and Rice said, who's your favorite Mitchell replacement? Let's say 8 or less. So, I mean, just that feels very like on topic right now to jump to. Yeah. I mean, we don't know anything, right? Do we know anything?
No, I mean, we just know that, watching him get hurt, right, and get subbed off on 36 when, they were already down to 10 and the game was gone.
He like had his foot iced on the international break and everyone was like, oh, it's no big deal. It's totally normal. And then, he gets, ripped off at like 30 minutes or something. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I think it's really significant, like what is said, because after West Ham, by Silva, because after West Ham is Bournemouth home, Villa home, Leeds, Everton home. I mean, those are 3 homes in 4, and he has a week from Sunday to Saturday. So I mean, we're looking at 2. So we have Pereira, right? We have fucking guys. So my initial is like, I just want to fucking get away with it and hold him because I don't love any replacement. Just saying that first and foremost. Yeah,
rolling already seems like the best. I mean, it's just like you said, we all have a bench. It's not a weird week where there's international break and we don't know are the South American guys back or whatever the fuck is going on. Your team is probably all fit unless you have one red flag guy or something like that. You probably have like playing players to just put in.
But I mean, I think for argument's sake, because we're not going to, we'll have the My Life pod, but we're not going to have another one until next week. I mean, say he is out and you want to do the transfer. I mean, probably Callum would be my number one option. I mean, their fixtures are a bit of a mixed bag. You know,
And
they
he
do
could have
home
had
run.
it. I mean, it was against 10 men, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, again, right, you're looking around at this bracket and you're not looking at, you know, top 4 strikers, really. So, you know, I think of the rest, like he's kind of like best of the rest, like while he's fit, you know, he's fit right now. You know, I feel like, you know, he's going to have pens, and whether or not Isak plays or comes back soon or later, like it doesn't matter that much to me. I feel like just at 7-2, you know, that's just a good pick. So I think that would be my tip.
Start with Isak. Like we don't really know yet. You know, I think they will. Yeah,
they didn't just
play
spend 80 on. Yeah, I mean, they just re-signed. They fucking renewed. They re-up Callum, and they're not paying 80
that's
on
crazy.
Isak.
That sounds like greased Edward's palm. Yeah,
Edwards,
but
yeah. But
you know,
either way,
I still do like Dom, but it's hard to recommend a player that's like, you know, you're praying for a pen basically for the next like 8 game weeks, you know. So, but he's fine. But yeah, I agree with you. Callum is probably just the best of this group. I mean, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't
want to say Bamford, but it's not. That's not the thing.
I'll say Bamford maybe in game week 12. They have at Leicester, home, Fulham. But I'm not going to say Bamford before he can play more than 20 fucking minutes, and he's at Palace, home, Arsenal.
Yeah. So. I mean, is there any? I mean, we did touch on Martial. I mean, I don't hate that, just from a standpoint of looking at the options. I think it's
just being
punt,
like there's no one
risky.
else.
Yeah, there isn't too much else that I'm seeing in that 8 million and under. I mean, Jesus is just so tough because he's, you know, I know a lot of people shipped him, but he has a blank coming up, so that's tough.
I mean, he is
stomach.
obviously the best. It's just, I mean, and home Liverpool is not that bad a fixture anymore.
It's fine.
Also, like
it's just fine.
As a Liverpool supporter, I expect Arsenal to score more than 1 goal. Like I expect Jesus to give us tons of problem and probably win the game. Honestly,
yeah.
So he has 2 really good fixtures with home Liverpool at Leeds. And he's the obvious best pick of all these forwards. But I guess, I guess
that depends more on the texture of the rest of your team, though.
Yeah, because if you can withstand,
if you have Martinelli and 3 City, and you don't have you can't. Yeah,
you can't unless you free hit, which was actually, we could maybe jump to these 2 questions too, which is Fabrizio. He said, if you happen to have 3 City and 3 Arsenal assets, is it crazy or cool to think about using the free hit in game week 12? And I love or cool. It's like so cool. Good. Is this cool,
really
guys?
Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
and then Pratiak followed up and he said, and generally, how are you guys planning to navigate game week 12 given the City attack right now? So what do you have? You have triple City attack and Martinelli. That's it, right?
Yeah, I'm shipping Martinelli. I mean, I've been pretty sure about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, actually, I didn't talk to you about this, but yeah, the one, because I did think a lot about like your being in on Matto, and I thought about like the most perverse, max perverse that I actually clicked in was hold Broge and Matto in for Martinelli and not getting Solanke. And it would have been a hit, but I was looking at it, I was like, this is stupid. It would leave me with nothing in the bank, still with a red flag Patterson and having 3 with no replacement, with 3 City players coming up in game week 12. But I looked at it, I was like, you know, Broge not assured to start, like didn't start, got a point, right? I mean, only half points of Solanke's, but I was like, that was because, you know, when you talk about someone like that, and I know Leicester's a huge blind spot for me.
Right,
I clicked it in. I was like, how could I get Matto? And I was like, it's hold Broge. And I was like, this feels like somewhat decent, but
I think what's funny is that like after this nightmare week that you had, if that same scenario came up now, you 100% do the move.
I would have done it before we started recording.
Yeah, you're just like, no, of course. I hit him out. Fuck him. He's the worst. But like, you were in a better mental state before the game week. So you're like, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that. Stupid. But yeah, the forwards are kind of rough. I mean, honestly, like when you compare, obviously they're a little more expensive, but when you compare all the forwards that we just talked about with a Matto, a Foden, a Bowen, there's not much comparison. I mean, all those mids are better than all those forwards by a lot.
No, I mean, it really did.
Even Diaz.
Get turned. Yeah, it got turned on its head really fast. Like we looked at, it was probably 3 or 4 game weeks ago. We're like, oh my God, there are 8 forwards. And then like Mitro doesn't know what's happening anymore, gets hurt. Like all these things.
Isak, major injury.
Tony's not scoring hat tricks anymore. Like, oh my God, he's back to playing DM. Oh, I'm so surprised. I mean, all these things start happening, and we're, now all of a sudden, the forward options are just very, very small. So I think, but the other issue is like Pereira is still a really good pick, like a good slot to have, but at what cost? Because
at what cost? Yeah.
Going 5 in the middle opposed to having 4-3 is. I mean, maybe that's shifting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think Pereira's worth it at this point. As far as maybe guy to come off your bench, you can't really get anyone better than Pereira. Like in the last 5 years, you'd want Pereira every time. It's a great pick. But for the reasons you said, I just don't think it's worth it because you want that guy to be a starting attacker instead with all of these really good mid picks. And with the 5 subs, we're rarely even getting to our fucking bench.
Right.
Like, yeah, I've started Pereira like twice this season so far, but it's just because I didn't have a good. He was the best option. It's not because I just didn't. He did. Yeah, I remember. I like him. He's my next guy to do really good for me.
Yeah, I've started him 2 or 3 times.
But like again, that's just because like we didn't have a better option. It's not because like we needed our bench for depth or something like that. But if that was just Matto or Foden or Bowen or Diaz, like. We would just start them every week, and our team would just be better, right?
Yeah.
So, I do think five mid seems pretty good right now.
Yeah. I mean, and I have to. I mean, we both have Mitrovic. We have to look at it and figure it out. But we need more news.
We need more news. Info. Yeah.
There's also Champions League. So
there's also
who
Champions League to
happen.
fuck everything up.
There's a lot of action this week. Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta get there.
But I think but that was back to like with Matt. It was like. What I was saying to you, like, you are going so hard on this player, like, you should take a hit to get him. And then I was thinking, like, why would I not apply that same shit to myself?
Right.
That's the thing why I it was nagging me for like hours.
Right.
On Friday. Yeah.
Right. It's like if we trust each other, then we should apply the same rules.
Yeah. That's why I was doing that. And then I still think obviously having all those points would have been nice, but if I had Broge and Mitro injured and red flag Patterson, I'm looking at my team today.
Problematic.
Like, what am I doing?
Very problematic.
I mean, granted, I would be like 15 more points up on the good, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean this week, but you'd be you'd be in a hole.
Looking at hits in the future and shit.
Crazy thing. I mean, this just is FPL in a nutshell, I guess, because everyone is just a fucking sheep who just follows. But I was looking at that group of elite teams on live FPL, and it must have been because they all just like wildcarded this week or last week. But 70% or 69.5% of the elite teams own Matto.
What?
Yes, basically 70%.
How is that possible?
Because they all just like wild carded into the same team, basically, is why. When people always complain about the template and blah, 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 and like copying YouTube teams and whatever, this is what they're talking about. It's like all these top guys who finish top 10K every single season, they just play it so fucking safe. Right? So everyone's going Matto. I'm just going to get Matto, right? It's not dissimilar to our game week 1 logic of like, 60% of the market says Haaland is the best pick. Like I'm going Haaland over Kev, even though I don't believe it to be true. I think it's roughly the same thought, but yeah, I mean, everyone just sort of has like all those guys rarely take risks. There's not that many picks in there. I think that were like unpopular.
I'm just surprised that number is so high because I mean, they just played Spurs and they have NFO this week. I mean, how many of those people got him in this week? Is my.
I think most people got him in Spurs and benched him, or were just like, it's fine. And you know what? He fucking scored for Spurs, so it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's been scoring so many points for so long. He's been playing like he's a 11 million asset.
It's crazy. Yeah, but this guy like on Twitter, Bullet, he tweeted last 27 Premier League starts. I don't know why he did 27, whatever. Matto, 194 points. Kev, 191. Mo, 186. Kane, 184. Son, 181.
Yeah, that was probably the cutoff that made his point look the
Yeah,
best.
exactly. But it's regardless, like we understand what he's
Got
saying.
it.
Like
He's
that's
been doing
fucking
good.
insane.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
should we jump to my team? Liverpool doing good stuff. Mo, great pick.
Yeah. What do you have to say about your team?
I don't actually have that much to say. I mean, it's just a completely broken team. Like there's just systematic issues that I probably am not smart enough to understand, if we're honest, about just like, and just everything is just wrong. It's just a very broken system, very broken team, no confidence, like no confidence in the teammates, just nothing going right. But Brighton, on the other hand, were fucking awesome. At least for that first like 30 minutes or something. They didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think
Brighton
they had
looked
a
good.
shot between like 20 and 70, but didn't really need one. Toilet Boy and Jitterbug said Trossard up top for Brighton. Are we jumping on? Cat thinks said Wilf's fixtures versus Trossard being in a better attacking team, and then Kendall said Brighton assets. Early days with the new manager, but we need to move away from the defense with Duncan Veltman and towards the attacking mids, Grob and Tross.
I mean, I still don't like anything here. Looking at their fixtures of the World Cup, I just don't like it. I mean, Trossard, sure, he looked good. He's been playing really well this season so far.
Yeah, he has.
But, to me, it's still just, new manager. He's going to be settling, and the team's going to be settling to what he's asking them to do. They have bad fixtures. I mean, they have Spurs at Brentford. They have home NFO in 12, which is obviously incredible. Then at City, home Chelsea, at Wolves.
Let me cut you off really quick. Captain shout. Like
captain
not even fucking trolling.
No,
that is a captain shout.
Yeah, that's the blank. I mean, that is a captain shout. But I mean, it's not like that could be just like a one-off thing. But just looking at the player and more broadly, I mean, the fixtures are bad. They're bad from a clean sheet perspective. They're bad from an attacking standpoint.
Yeah.
So I just don't love any picks right now. I like very much more kind of a wait and see, keep an eye on the players and the performances, and and find out how they look, because after the World Cup, they have a really good run. Kind of looking at it from game week 17 when they come back, it's at Southampton, and they don't have a bad attacking fixture until April.
Well, they have home Arsenal in 18. Well, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
they have some bad fixtures.
It's home. From an attacking standpoint, home Liverpool, home Arsenal.
Home Arsenal, at Everton, home Liverpool is like not a good run.
But are we saying at Everton's not a good fixture anymore just because they park?
Attacking, it's not like ideal,
Well, sure, but just generally speaking,
you could hold them for a long time and feel fine. Yeah,
it's a good run. I mean, we're not seeing like 2 or 3 of the top 4, whatever. But
yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of how I'm viewing.
Yeah, I mean,
right,
everyone.
What do you think? Am I too bearish or?
No, I mean, everyone that is, in my opinion, smart and knows what they're talking about more than I do, absolutely deserves, and just thinks he's a fucking actually genius manager. And they have, numbers to back it up with what he's done in previous jobs. Shakhtar,
sure.
Yeah, exactly. And they came out and they had fucking, like, those weren't like normal defensive mistake type of things from Liverpool. Like some of those moves were like, oh my God, like one touch pass, boom, 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 boom. Someone's in, Trossard's in and scores. But, also they only had 6 shots. Also, it's a new manager. First game, they get the bounce. They're flying. Liverpool are a broken team. I think I am with you. I mean, I don't think Tross is a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination. But
he's not hitting the bar anymore.
Yeah, I mean, well, that is
since I got rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's already 2.5 over his XG, and he's usually like level with his XG kind of player. So he's just hot. I don't think there's something that changed to make him a good finisher all of a sudden. But bottom line is, I mean, game week 12, I'm legitimately considering that as a captaincy shout. And other than that, I don't really want him. And we'll see. In 15 they have at Wolves, and 16 they have home Villa. We'll see. Yeah, we don't know who's going to be managing Wolves, and we don't know who's going to be managing Villa at that point, if we're honest. So, maybe those are going to be 2 bankers, but right now it's like not looking very good.
Yeah. I can't believe I captain Mo.
I mean, Bob really, your nemesis, Bob Sanchez, really did you in there. Yeah, that one amazing save on Mo, and then he had an amazing save on Trent later. But Trent didn't get an assist on the own goal, by the way.
Yeah, fuck Trent. Fuck him.
I'm just saying, it's like, what? It's like the most clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Bowen got the assist, right? I mean, that was clear. So it's not as though they're making it up as they go along. No one would ever accuse the powers of towers that be.
It's just a great game that we play.
There's no gray areas, binary black and white, right, wrong, yes, no, across the board. So we just get to
not getting the pen. Brand new referee won't listen to the VAR who tell him to turn it over.
No, I'm right. This is the first day of the job. I'm right. You're all wrong. Till red card handball dog. So,
dude,
no, not for a Brazil international. Not for someone with that much experience. He would never have done that. He wouldn't make that mistake. It's not the kind of player he is. It's not the kind of player he is, Alon.
Beyond. That was just beyond. Yeah. Let's jump to some defenders because aforementioned all the big at the back guys are bad. There's very few cleans around the shop, so everyone's looking for a defender. I got Alan Oxbill said best 4-5 and under defender. Is it still Fofana? Joanna said, is it past time for taking money out of the defense since no one can keep cleans? Who are the current best teams to target for cheap defenders? Bo and Chester, who is a good under 5-5 defender? Bolter, which defender to get to replace Patterson? NX50, any 5 million plus defenders we should be looking at, or is it just cheap D all the way? I mean, that one's Reece? Easy to me. Is Trips. I mean, is still just a god. Like, it's a fucking 5-goal game with no cleans, and he gets no goals, no assists, and he gets a bone.
He's shitting points this year. It's ridiculous. Stars are aligning for Trips this year.
He's the thing I was by far most right on in preseason.
And we both had him. Thank God. Yeah. I mean, granted, I sold him game week 2 and you didn't, but yeah. He's
7-7-6-2-0-8-5-7.
Yeah.
He's 2 blanks. Mm-hmm. He's still only 49% owned.
He's the third highest point totaler right now from defense. Yeah, good player.
Yeah, so that's the 5+ guy that you do want. I mean, you watched the Palace game much more closely than I did, Palace Chelsea. I mean, what do you think of Reece? Was he doing the good stuff or not really? Because his numbers were not particularly good.
He was playing fullback.
Not wingback.
Yeah.
Hate to see that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Fofana switched off a little bit for the goal. I'd probably point the blame towards him. But generally speaking, we didn't do anything. We didn't really threaten them. I mean, the game was probably on balance. They should have won. Maybe a draw would have been okay. But they did create. Chelsea did create some. But he's playing a back 4. I still don't think that Reece is good. A good pick at 6. For a team that's playing the back 4 when he's not playing wing back. I mean, he obviously got in the final third, like sometimes, but he's not just playing like winger, which is basically what he was doing. We don't even know what system or formation he wants to play. We don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And 6 is still a lot. It's a lot to spend on a team when we still want to believe that and buy the clean sheet first.
Yeah.
We don't, we just don't know much about this Chelsea team. I mean, they weren't keeping cleans under Tuchel. And we've got a couple of games here with Potter, and they haven't kept it clean. So, I think at 6, he's definitely a don't buy. I mean, I don't think you probably would sell him, but if you need money,
if you need money, it's a great place to look.
Yeah, you could do worse. Sure. Even though they do have Wolves, Villa, Brentham. I mean, they do have some decent cleanable fixtures, but
those are probably too good to sell. But I mean, it's so frustrating as an owner with the four at the back when I was kind of like watching and that what was it? It was like a Champions League game or something, right? His first game.
Yeah,
right. It was a 1-1 or whatever. Was it Zagreb or something?
Some weird ass kind of bad team that they were supposed to win.
But I mean, that after that game, I remember like ranting and raving to you that, okay, Reece is back. He's going to get a fucking 1,000 attack returns. He was in the final third the entire game at wing back. And then you play against, and then fast forward to now at Palace, and it's a back four, and he has one touch in the box. He doesn't create anything. He doesn't shoot. He's not the player that I wanted at all. And it's like, I don't know what to do with that. It's hard.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, the Palace had the one massive chance that was like a fucking incredible ball from Jayu that Edouard put in. And then they just kind of had some like shots up from outside the box. And that's like basically the entire game. There was nothing else. So defensively, it's like more often than not, that's probably a clean. The one thing that was bad happened to get punished. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still think Reese is good, but if you're like wild carding now, are you going Reese? Like, I'm not sure. But Fofana probably would. I probably would.
Yeah, it's even that is a little bit suspect. I mean, it's nice to have him in a stable if you're kind of rotation, but he's not. It's not like he was amazing. I mean, he was like fine. He's way fucking better than Till. If that wasn't close, but they still have Koulibaly there. They still have Cucurella when he gets fit. I mean, he could still play like left center back in a fucking four. I don't think that he can't do that. So, I mean, Trev is still knocking around. It's just we still don't know. Is he going to be trying players out, or is he going to be like staking his claim somewhere? I still believe, ultimately that Fofana is one of their two best center backs, and that's why I picked him, after he didn't start the Champions League game.
League. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I took that leap of faith because that's what I genuinely believe. And unlike, someone like, Braj or Lodge, I think that Potter's actually a smart, good manager. So I have more confidence, kind of backing good decisions there. But I'm not sitting here like, oh yeah, he's going to just start all the games. Like I'm still a little bit worried
as
about
you should
that,
be. For sure.
He's 4-4. So
yeah, I think for the cheap guys, it's pretty much as good as you can get. And you just pray that he, wins the job sooner than later.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where else to go, really. I mean, I still like my Zuma shout from a while ago is still like fine. They're just back to being, Moyes' West Ham, just sucking the life out of every game, killing every game, playing really defensively. And, they still have mostly good fixtures up until the World Cup. I still think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, they have really good homes.
Yeah, really good homes, which is what you want. I mean, Villa probably still, I feel like it just hasn't changed that much, right? I mean, Everton have bad fixtures, so maybe that's the thing that's changed. But like, go cheap like Mings or whatever. You need to bench him when they have, home Chelsea and shit. But, at NFO, at Fulham, home Brentham, I don't know. Startable.
Yeah, I agree. I think, not much has changed there, and there are a lot of really good cheap options. I mean, I think the biggest thing that's changed is just, you want to take your money out of defense because teams are scoring. I mean, this is something we've been talking about, right? Teams are scoring.
Yeah. It's like, would you rather have Reese or Foden? Like, obviously they're not the same price, but it's really not even close.
Right.
For the first time in like 3 seasons, it's not even fucking close.
Right. Yeah. Right. Or Matto or Zaha. I mean, any of these kind of like 7 to 5 million midfielders, Saka, like whatever, like they're all better now, sort of.
I mean, if I end up rolling my transfer and like Mitro is actually hurt or something like that, I could definitely see a world where my game week 11 double move is like Reese, Mitro, Pereira out for a hit to get whichever mid I like most, probably Foden, and like just taking money out of each of those other slots or something like that.
That could make sense for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do some other questions. There's not that many. Relatively short pod tonight, I think, and then we'll go to our team. So Camille said, is Threemium still worth it if we're thinking of permacapping Holland? And Jitterbug followed up and said, does it make sense to ditch Sun for mid-price mids, avoiding the trap of needing to spend all our budget? Because players like Bowen, Matto, Trossard might just be better assets, full stop.
This Bowen shit needs to fucking calm down for a second, okay?
He was great. I mean, that's why.
That's fine, but he was also not great for 2 months. So, like, let's fucking relax. And the assist, he didn't get an assist. Okay, he scored a goal. It was well taken. Fine. They have a couple good okay, but I mean,
it's the fixtures. Like, I mean, he's not Matto in terms of his regularity of scoring, but it's the same sort of argument.
Like, doing Sun to Bo, it's like, like, come
Yeah,
on.
that's
Like, that's
bad. Yeah,
not
Sun's better.
reasonable.
Yeah.
But
Threemium, I think, is an interesting point. I mean, we're both on it. I think a lot of people are on it. I think Kev and Holland are just, they should just be in everyone's team for the rest of the season.
Well, I guess the bigger question, I mean, where are you spending your money? If you don't have 3 premium, who are you buying?
I think you are getting all of the aforementioned mids, right? Like, I
so you're
think
going 3-5-2 with 3 8 million mid or 4 8 million mids and Kevin and Holland,
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, like, because I'm looking at my
and
team,
maybe
like
maybe a forward emerges. Like, I guess fast forward to game week 13. So post blank.
Yeah.
So it's like Holland, Jesus, Kev, 4 8 million mids, and then cheap defenders like that. As of right now, that seems like meta, but this shit changes so fast. So I don't know.
I mean, the thing that just feels really good and fine and safe is just ripping money out of defense. I mean, the more you do that, I think you have more flexibility with your attacking spots, so you can target, the good fixtures for the attacking players. I mean, the games are just more open. I mean, there are just less Stokes. There are less Burnleys, than we ever have had in the Premier League, in the last 5-10 years, I think. So, that just is the thing that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, and the subs. We talk about the same shit every episode, but I mean, the ability to be like, we're down 2-0, I'm making 5 changes, I'm changing half the fucking team is just crazy.
Yeah.
And then Kame said, are there any attackers below 6 million that interest you?
Well, there's one. There is one.
What's his name?
The dog-faced Gabo.
Oh my God.
He was actually incredible.
He was so good. I know. And it's like a joke, but that part of it is not a joke.
It's not a joke. Like, I saw him coming on and I was like, I can't wait to watch this. And
I can't wait to watch him get a red card.
Every touch, everything he did, movement, turning, pace, passing, shoot, unbelievable. Like, he looked unbelievable.
I know.
And it had me feeling things. I'm just going to say that.
Mitch are a dog face?
I mean, he's at Chelsea at the Bridge, which is vengeance. New manager bounce.
The narrative game.
NFO, Palace, Leicester, Brentham, this, that, the other thing.
Who are they going to hire? Do we know this yet? Is it like, am I out of touch? Do we know what the fuck they're doing?
We don't know.
You better fucking speak Portuguese, or that's going to be a major problem for that
will be
team.
A problem. The one thing going against Wolves right now is
the one thing.
It's just
what's the one thing that, like, the worst attacking team in the league is going? It's going against the worst attacking team in the league.
All their players are banned.
Huge thing.
It's just, but it's one thing. It's an umbrella thing.
Yeah, it is. I'll give you that. It is
Collins
only one thing.
Banned, Neves
even though it's
banned,
the biggest thing.
Neto out, Jim out. Issues. They're Kalajic, the giraffe out for. I mean, they're banned or injured. It's a problem.
It's not ideal.
The team is in difficult shape, but there is an 11 there that's just fine still to me. You play the backup center back. You got Johnny Kilman, Semedo. That's a back 4. Fucking Matthews, Guedes, Moutinho, Podence, whatever. You do something there. You put Diego up top, Dogface Gabo up top. There's an 11 there that's fucking fine. It's not amazing, but it's better than 4 other teams in the league or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, this shouldn't be a team that flirts at all with relegation. But as of right now, they are more than flirting. They are fucking snogging relegation.
Diego Costa.
I mean, we've had such good times.
Oh my God.
With him.
He's back.
Yeah, people. I just realized that people don't even know who you're talking about because we haven't actually talked about him in 5 years. But has it really been official, that long? I don't know.
2016-17 was the last season.
Oh, wait, is it longer than 5 years?
It's like 6 seasons. 7 years.
But yeah, we've always called him the dog-faced goblin. So that's just his official FMLFPL name. So you don't even question it or think about it. So
he's one of my favorite players of all time.
He is such a fucking legend.
I love him so much. I fucking love him.
Such a legend of the game.
It's so funny too because like he has like a lot of like the Bruno isms, but he's not like an absolute diabolical piece of shit.
Is it
like he does
because he's
similar
a dog
things, but
faced
it's just
goblin and
hilarious.
not a rat?
It could be.
Because rats are just like gross. You don't want to see them.
Could be onto something like.
Yeah, they're in the trash. They're gross. They run across the street, and you're just like, oh god.
There's
But
a-
like
I mean,
a little dog, cute little dog.
I mean, these are two faces that only a mother can love, but they're very different.
But very different. That's a thing.
They're very different.
That's a thing.
I fucking love him, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to kind of resist this one, but we'll get there later on.
Yeah, we'll get there later on. We'll get there on Thursday pod probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have a few attackers that are good. I mean, Shaka's just good. They're blanking.
Sure.
Yeah, like they're blanking, but he is just a good pick at this point. I'm totally fucking sold on that. Simple Mug won the battle, and he's just a good pick. What do you think about Eze?
I agree.
What do you think about Eze?
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, I feel like he's just sneaky good pick. He's 5'5". He's started every game.
Yeah. Issue with him,
the run, they're gonna get
run
points.
is good, and that the run is good. But the issue with him, I think, is more of just he doesn't have explosive output in him. I mean, he's not going to be a big goal scorer, and there are so many picks in the game that do. So it's like, where are you? Like, how do you get to the point where he's in your team and you're starting him? Because I'm not seeing a lot of sub 6 million. Like, because that's
maybe
like the Martinelli
death of
spot.
Premium is that like these guys just go by the wayside and no one owns any of these guys. It's totally possible because he's 5'5".
I know, but even comparing him to Solanke, who's 5'7", is like, I don't want Eze over Solanke at all. Like, I want the pen taker. I want the striker.
Yeah. Who should have had a 9-pointer this week because he should have had a pen and Max Bones. Yeah.
Right. And, that's the thing is it only takes one. And I think that they're like that right there is like so clear cut. Like it's not even close.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that to me is, as much as I love Eze and I think he's an absolutely incredible footballer from an FPL perspective and standpoint, like how do you actually justify picking him? It has to be emotional, I think.
Right.
Which is like Shaka, right? How do you pick him over Shaka? You can't.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. And then the only other guy that I thought of that I've been really fucking impressed with lately is fucking Willock. He's not
fuck.
No, you're not starting him. But you compare him to fucking Pereira. I'll have Willock every day of the week. I did not expect him to start every game this season. I think if we did expect that, he would have been like talked about a bit more because he's just playing forward. I mean, he's just like the reason Bruno Guimaraes isn't a pick in FPL this year isn't because he's bad or something or like got bad. It's because he's deep and Willock's forward. Dude. No, I'm just talking about who's even viable.
He's so fucking bad. He sucks.
But he's a 4'9" forward, out of position forward.
I mean, that's like saying Almiron's a pick. I mean, he just had 2 assists, fine, but he was starting all the other games. He didn't fucking do anything. He did literally nothing. He's just getting minutes, play points. Like, he fucking sucks. And his eye test is shit. He looks shit. He looks like a fucking bad player.
Both of them are only picks if you're not starting them.
Yeah. Fine.
Which I think is a spot on the team. Again, it's like Almiron versus Pereira. I'm not talking about Almiron, like, sell Martinelli for Almiron. Like, I'm just talking about, like, who would I rather have? Like,
fine.
That's fine. Way rather have Miggy than Pereira. Not even close.
Fine. That's fine.
So.
I agree with you. That's fine.
Yeah.
How about Bruno G being in like 20% of the Game Week 1 teams?
That was a crazy moment in time.
Love this. Love that development.
Yeah.
The spoon feeders did not get spoon fed very good information with that one.
And then the last questions here were about Raz. I mean, Jitterbug, X50, Dano.
Raz?
Yeah, just like, what do we think of Chelsea attack? What are the vibes for Sterling owners? I think these guys own Raz already.
Oh, God.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, sounds complex question. It says, do we go Raz to Kane, keep a threemium, or distribute the Raz money to Diaz and Matto or something like that? I mean, Raz is not looking great.
No, he's not.
So
I mean,
yeah,
Maddo, after this huge ass haul and just looking at this kind of situation, right? He should like be supplanting a lot of these players. I think it's a really hard thing for us from FPL, not for you. I would say me and the others, right? That you look at this player who has, had such a checkered past with like a lot of promised,
yeah,
and he's never really done it until last year, and even then, it was sort of like a weird year.
Stop start
To suddenly look at him as like a really good pick and really good asset when everybody has had dalliances with Maddo and he's fucked you badly. Like he has fucked everybody. He's fucked us all.
Yeah.
To go back to
the
him,
Genghis Khan of FPL is Maddo.
Yeah, he's had so many fucking concubines everywhere. To go back to him now and look at it like with a clean slate and fresh eyes of like this player from the positioning, game, chances created, shot number, blah 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 is elite, is hard to do. But that does feel like where we're either there, we've been there for a few weeks, or we're going to be there in a few weeks. Yeah. That does feel like where we're at. So I feel like I
agree. I think also the price. As stupid as it sounds, because it's something that we're aware of. But, there's subconscious that shit still lurking. We see 8 million and we're like, yeah, like he's
he could
good.
Do better. Raz is better. But, he's 2 million more. He's better, right?
Right. But if Maddo was 10, he'd be 0.0% owned in game week 1. Fine, whatever. But then we'd look back now, right? Just imagining this world, he'd be like 9.6 because he would have dropped from the few weirdos that had him early or something. And everyone would be like, "Oh my god, premium with Maddo, best thing ever."
Yeah, I mean, his influence is 1 of 273.
Is that good?
I think if you're number 1 on any of these metrics, it's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's pretty
so influential.
He's very influential.
Can't get an England side though.
Name a more influential mid than James Maddison. You can't do it because he's literally number 1.
I can't do it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's your answer, dude. Raz to Maddo.
Yeah, fuck Raz, dude. I mean, I love Raz. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the time. Let them do some attacking stuff.
Yeah.
How about Chelsea score like 3 normal goals in one game?
They haven't done that in years.
Oh yeah, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, okay.
There's another Monday game, and it's NFO again against Villa.
Yes!
Why are they
kidding
doing
me?
this?
Oh, this is the best. NFO's the best thing on a Monday. They're the fucking worst thing I've ever seen. Their manager is so fucking high, has no idea what's happening. They're just running around. They're the worst, shittiest team in the league. They just got absolutely dismantled by Braj's Leicester. Given their Cook should not be in the team, hopefully next week they got some guys fit, but I think they're a blast on a Monday. Absolute blast on a Monday.
I just hate games on Monday.
I'd rather a game on Monday than Friday, though.
I'd rather neither.
I'd rather neither. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, probably.
All right.
Let's go to our teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no idea. We need Metro News. We need Champions League.
I think we're skipping the our teams part because they have no idea. But we do have a couple of cap questions, which are more macro-y. So Rise said, where are we going to gain chunk rises if everyone's permacapping the same guy? Jitterbug followed up and said, similar question. How did your strategy in the Suarez/RVP permacap seasons differ from normal seasons? Is it more money in certain places? And then Jabroni said, any recommendations on managing the Haaland permacap if it's taking away some of the fun of the game for me?
So, I mean, I think to me, the biggest differences from the RVP Suarez permacaps is that there are so many more players and there's so much more information that's being shoveled to us now, but the strategy is the same. I mean, you should be captaining these players every week. So the perception is different because before there was less known information.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, we're in the minority, or we're being smart, but not everyone else is doing this. Even though everyone else probably was doing it from a percentage
we talked
standpoint.
about this with the game week 1 pick of Haaland. Right. The fact that we know he's 70% on makes us not want to pick him.
Right. And, So I think that plays a big part to just our psyche and our outlook of like the strategy and, trying to be clever, thinking that you can only chunk rise by using your 12th player vis-a-vis, your captaincy is just a nonsense. It doesn't make any legitimate logical sense whatsoever. It's just a fucking fiction. It's a lazy way of looking at it. I think it's the easiest way of looking at it is, well, of course, it's your captains. You get double those points. So you go blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But, you get chunk rises by getting 15 pointers from Saliba. You get chunk rises by getting triple returns from Foden or Matto, and, other managers don't own them. You get chunk rises from swerving, Trent and, Cancelo, who people have, 20% of their budget in, who get, 1 point, a game week or whatever.
Yep.
Those are all huge chunk rises. It doesn't
hitting
just
clean
have to be
sheets in a season where there's no clean sheets.
Yeah. I mean, even having trips, like getting 6 pointers from, fucking Zuma or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
Like those, that contributes to chunk rises, but swerving chalk and capping Mo when, 75% is on Holland and getting -18, you know what that is? A chunk loss.
Yeah.
So, avoiding that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, you nailed it. I have nothing to add. That's exactly right. Short pod, but let me slap asses. We did get some new Patreon signups, so thank you for that. We got Lars.
Oh wait, hang on that.
Oh.
Patreon updated their operating system from 2015 to 2022.
Okay.
Like last week, and if you actually sign up, you don't have to get double charged from the day you sign up to the first of the next month. This isn't rent anymore. Patreon thought this was fucking rent. Okay, this is not rent.
Let's go.
So if you fucking subscribe, then it's a subscribe for the next month. You get charged next month. And when you're like, I don't want to listen to these two fucking dumbass cunts anymore, you cancel. You get canceled.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
Yeah,
but
today
it's an
the
actual
third.
subscription.
If you sign up on the 3rd, then you pay on the 3rd of the month. You don't pay on the 1st of the month.
It's it's an actual. So before they were marketing it as a subscription, it was not. It was a fucking scam. We just didn't have anywhere else better to go.
We just didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah, now it's an actual subscription service. So big ups to Patreon. I saw they fired a lot of their employees. I guess
overseas employees. I think.
Yeah. Okay. We're back, baby, with Patreon.
We're back. We're home.
All right.
So these really smart 5 people signed up for the Patreon after this news. They were probably waiting for this news. So shout out to these guys. Yeah, exactly. Let me slap asses of Lars Ronigan, Milos Radmilak, Joseph Kalfish, Paul, and Greg Waddle. Get in there, baby. Slap the ass. Good job by you.
I would love that. Someone's just sitting there waiting, like they're gonna drive. Like, I'm not gonna support this. I love the pod, guys, but I'm not gonna support this company to take any percent. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna wait.
They said they were gonna charge me on the 1st. I signed up on the 28th.
Yeah. Like, I read this article in 2019 that it was coming soon.
Yeah.
And I've just been waiting ever since then.
I got my Forbes email and I saw the Patrons changed their model.
What a fucking bad company. Oh my God.
Hey, come on. They help us out for sure. So I'm in support.
Do they? They just exist.
Yeah. It's great for us. Patreon is the podcast industry. So for that reason, I'm in support.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. To me, it's like it's a monopolization that is so big. It's just they got in early and they're too big to fail, where they're crowding out other. I mean, the fact that it's October 3rd, 2022, and they just did this now.
Yeah. Yeah.
How fucking insane. This should have been like in their initial offering.
This is
imagine
version 1.0.
Version
should have been
1.0.
this.
Version
this is
0.5,
how
the
it
beta
works.
This is how it works. And the fundamental, it's like, wait, no, do you know what we should do, guys? We get more money if we just say like, oh, if you sign up on the 28th, you get charged again on the 1st. Ha ha. Well, where else are they going to go? Nowhere. Because this is the only show.
I see.
It's diabolical. I mean, that's fucking scum. That's scum of the earth.
All right. Well,
love you, but I love Patreon though. And big ups to Patreon. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing what we do without Patreon.
That is a fact. So that's why I support. Any last words, brother?
Oh my God, Matt's dream's still alive.
Stop.
Braves
Stop, Tots.
The Braves lost.
I know the Braves fucking lost, but we're fucked.
No, we got it. 2 more, baby.
Anyone
tomorrow
can
we're
lose
going to win
more.
the doubleheader tomorrow. They're going to lose, and we're going to go into the last day.
I think it's going to be postponed again. It's just raining all day.
Triple header?
We have the hurricane shit, the hurricane weather in New York. It's like raining all day and night.
But they're supposed to play on Friday.
Good luck. Well, yeah, the weather is getting better later in the week once the hurricane shit passes us. But tomorrow,
but I'm saying the
rain
playoffs,
all day.
But the playoffs are supposed to be on Friday.
Playoffs?
We're talking about playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So, but
Playoffs
if they push
will be
another
good.
day, then
That's
you'd
not
have
good.
literal no day off.
Yeah, that's not good. So I don't know what to do about that.
We need to play in the Barclays Center with the dome.
That's actually a good idea.
Just put some fucking turf down.
Not a bad idea.
All
There's
right,
got to
it's
be
all
some
happening.
yeah. No one
My
knows. No
Patreon
one's
stock.
listening anymore. No one knows what
My
we're talking
Patreon
about.
stock. Mets are going to win the World Series. Good job,
True.
everybody.
Good job by you. Check us out at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL. /FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review.